Soul Garden. Live, love, be.
Hello, Your Honor, and welcome now to Wednesday. Well, I think it's going to be a partly cloudy day, and I think the Librans are going to be a little oversensitive probably in their relationships and maybe even in their ego. Let me explain why. The moon today in Aries, so that's a good thing. You're feeling pretty strong emotionally, maybe a little righteous, but there's a opposition going on between the moon in Aries and Venus in your sign, Libra. What this does is create kind of a fault line between your ego and your relationships in life. So there might be a tug of war between what your ego really loves to be or wants to be, or your heart is in being, and the actual emotional needs of a certain relationship in your life. Likely romantic, but sometimes business partnerships and friendships can also pull us to this one. But given all the Venus involved, it's probably a romantic relationship. And if you're single, it might be the fact that you are single. So just be advised, and that will clear up tomorrow. So don't get too hung up on that, Libra. Now, Mars is moving retrograde. I want to point that out. It started happening, I think, sometime in the hospital. But now I will talk about it in full force. What that means is you might be asked to redo something in your career. Now, anytime that a planet is retrograde, it looks like it's moving backwards in the sky. That's why we call it retrograde. What it means is vibrationally, we have to go back and look at something we've already looked at. And depending on the planet, will determine what happens. Mercury is a rethinking. Mars is a redoing. So don't be too surprised if you don't have to renegotiate some sort of contract, repitch an idea at work, go after a position again, or do something you thought you might have already had in the kind of in your grasp, and now suddenly you're finding yourself redoing it. But if you do, at least you know now it's the universe's intent of making it the best it can be, right? Mars would not do that to you otherwise. Then lastly, I want to talk about today's the last day of sunny in Scorpio, 29 degrees today. Tends to usually be intense also on the whole planet. You may think it's the United States rushing to get to Thanksgiving, but everyone on the planet is feeling this intensity. And tomorrow, the sun will be 0 degrees Sagittarius, which will feel very flat. A perfect day to put your feet up and have a holiday. We'll be back tomorrow, by the way, with a special Thanksgiving soul horoscopes. And until then, live, love, be.
Soul Garden.